So here at Full Circle Farm, there's a few reasons I've come to this farm. One, it's really at its beginning stages. This isn't a farm that's been going for 15 years and got all the systems set up. So it's raw, they're still creating their farming techniques and practices. And the other thing, Shannon knows a lot about holistic management and grazing animals. And one thing I want to show you now is the Kiwi Tech Fencing. This is something that a few of our clients use. And it's actually got nothing to do with chickens, but if you're running cattle on your farm, this is a great product, and it's portable infrastructure that I'm a massive, massive fan of. So we'll see how this Kiwi Tech fencing works in real life and how it sets up, and it could just be a real asset to your farm.
This is Kiwi Tech. This is their permanent stuff. This is their permanent flexible posts. So it's basically designed with extremely hard, I don't even know what it's called, but extremely hard plastic, and as you drive it into the ground, it's just like how an arrow would work going through someone's body. And yeah, it goes down and the fans out like that, and then it takes, I think it's 5 ton of pressure to get it out. So I'll give you a little example. It's a way to do, and this is the end product. So the post is flexible, so walking over it, you know, and you can even get quad attachments where your quad just drives straight over the top of it. We're on a floodplain here, so we get flood. So when there's a flood, we don't get posts ripped out of the ground. It just bends over as the water flows over, and then once the flood's finished, it pops back up. You can run as many wires as you want. We're just running 2 at the moment, and you know, for cattle, you can easily just run a single strand. But yeah, basically how the permanent fence post goes in. You buy a little, this is a Kiwi Tech, kind of similar to a star post remover or a whacker. So that's in, and then to engage the, what do you call it, the wings, I'm sure there's a proper name for it, of the arrow. You just, this is the pressure you get, and then that engages the wings, and then there's nothing that's going to pull that out. It's pretty in there. So yeah, so this is how you remove the permanent arrow post. It's just it uses a 5-to-1 lever, and it's something like 5 tons of pressure it needs to get out, but basically this metal part clamps onto the post and just levers it out like that. And when I've pushed it in far, the barbs come out like that, and then you basically just straighten them up and you can reuse it. So it's not just one use with this fencing, you can reuse them heaps of times. So that's the permanent setup, and then there's other components of the permanent setup that make it such a awesome little fencing design. One of those is the springs. So you have your flexible posts along your run, then you have you don't need stays or anything. This is just a strainer, just to post straight into the ground. And this is the spring design. So the plan is that when animals get caught, wallabies come through, you're not going to get fence snaps or deer or whatever. They're going to come through, accidentally get caught or whatever, and there's give in the fence because of the spring. And then when they go, it just goes back to its spot. There's all cool stuff you can do with it. This is just a gate. This doesn't look like it, but it's a gate. So yeah, and that's the design of this little mechanism down here, is if I open this gate, that stops the fence from dropping all the way along the run. So this fence stays up, and then the gate can be opened. Now the design of, so if you look at this fence run here, the design at the end, if you get a snap wire down there, this handle is amazing. Well, it's not amazing, it's just really smart. So you wind up a spare wire, and if you get a break somewhere down the fence, you can unroll a bit of the wire off this, crimp it at that end, or do your figure 8 knot or whatever you want, and then you just wind this back onto the handle. You wrap the handle around, get the tension you want, and then hook it back, and it's done. So repairs 3 minutes, if that, of a fence break, and you got your tension, the springs there. It's amazing little design, and simple, and yeah, really easy to use. And the other type, so that's your permanent fencing. The other type I use is the temporary fencing, so your cross fencing. So if you imagine, I'm sure a lot of farmers would know what I'm talking about, but if you imagine a ladder, so you got your two vertical runs, like your paddock like that, and then the horizontal, the rungs on the ladder is your cross fencing to what people call strip graze your cattle. So the way I do those cross fencing is by the temporary pack. So the way this works is, you know how you're trying to run out cross fencing and you've got, you know, you got the post hang over your shoulder and you've got the wire and you're trying to balance it all, and you got to put the post down and then grab a post and put the wire down and feed that through. The design with this is it's all done on a carry pack. It just sits neatly in like that. So theoretically what you do, if you imagine this laneway is a paddock, you connect one end, and there's clips so you can do this. I'm just doing this with the knot at the moment. And you just run the power off your permanent, and then basically what happens is you walk it out, and as you walk out, I'll put it in the eye, as you walk it out, you're putting fence posts in as you go, hook it on, stamp it down, hook it on, and stamp it down, and then you tie it off on the other side. So it's a way to run out an incredible amount of cross fencing in such a quick amount of time. Everything's here in a nice little pack. You can fit a heck of a lot of fence posts on, and yeah, it's just really straightforward stuff, and that's it.